What's going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, hanging out today, playing some Idle Heroes. Want to thank you guys so much for coming out with me today. If you liked the video, don't forget, smash that thumbs up button to show your support. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright guys, we're back with the hero analysis. Today, we're going to be going over Bloodblade. Bloodblade is pretty hot, alright? He's a pretty hot hero. So we're going to jump in, look at Bloodblade, talk about his active skill, his passive skills, all that good business, do a bit of gear talk, you know, what kind of stone, what kind of artifact you want to put on him, and then we're going to take him for a test run against bosses, because that's kind of where he shines, and that's kind of the game plan. Alright, so let's jump in here and start straight out with the active skill, the Exotic Blade, hot, deals 148% of his attack as damage against 3 random enemies, and 46% of his attack as extra damage each round for 3 rounds. If the target is a ranger, Demon Hunter, Ice Blink, etc., then it increases the extra damage by 62% each round. Not bad, so a bit of a heavier dot against ranger foes. Works really good against ranger bosses, like the Molassa Marauder. Hits that pretty hard. Also, he's going to heal himself for 170% of his attack as HP, and it can't be dodged. Now, he does not get the self-sustain on his active skill until he's 10-starred. That is something to keep in mind. Alright, he's not going to heal on his active skill until he's a 10-star Bloodblade. Still, it's nice to have. Once he is 10-starred, that heal is going to be nice. Very, very nice. Alright, first passive up here, Rain Blood. Sounds cool. Sounds cool. Each attack has a 100% chance to bleed the target, dealing 45% of the attack as damage. 45% of his attack, not of the damage he did, of attack as damage each round for 4 rounds, and gains 16.8% armor break for 4 rounds. So, that's not bad. Damage over time, 100% chance to activate it. He's also going to gain armor break to punch through armor a little more effectively. Not a bad deal. Second passive here, the Carnage Heart, increases the hit by 25%. If you guys don't know what hit is, it's essentially accuracy. It's how much more accurate you are to land your attacks. Hit is the counter to dodge. So for every point of hit you have, you will hit somebody with that much dodge every time, pretty much. Alright, it increases attack by 30%, armor break by 32%, HP by 20%, and he also deals an extra 85% of his attack as damage on bleeding foes. So as you can see, he bleeds people with his basic attack, he bleeds with his skill, he also does extra damage to bleeding foes. So he kind of self-buffs his own damage, and this is great for bosses, because you get a long time to keep hitting those people. They're always going to be bloody, you're always doing extra bleeding damage. It's great. Works really well there. PvP, but we'll talk about that in a second. Alright, last passive here, Life Drain. This recently got buffed. Whenever an enemy hero dies, heal self for 240% of his attack as HP. It didn't used to be this high. I think it was 180% before. So he's got quite a bit of a buff now for when people die. It did help him out a little bit in PvP. Not a ton. But it's pretty solid in the Aspen dungeon and stuff like that. So anyways, let's jump in after you know all that stuff about him. Let's talk about his stats. Or not his stats, his gear. Alright, so he's a damage over time hero. And generally speaking, any hero that benefits the most from damage over time, Margaret, Molassa, Walter, Bloodblade, you want to stack attack on them. Because attack is going to boost their damage over time effects. It's going to make them deal more damage. That's always good. That's what they're there for. But this guy actually benefits from attack in a different way, and that's because he also heals based off of his attack. So his self-sustain buffs from having a high attack, and also his damage over time. So when it comes to a Bloodblade, I would say your best 2 bets when it comes to your artifact is going to be attack and attack percentage. This is only a red artifact. It's nothing special. But it boosts his attack. It also boosts his percent attack, and it also gives him a little extra damage versus rangers. Hot. But anyways, that's what you want. I've heard there's always someone out there that wants to run something different. The people run reduced damage on him with HP to help his sustain work a little better. He takes a little bit less damage, a little bit less of a punch, and since he's healing on his active skill, and when people die, it makes him harder to kill. Don't know exactly how effective that would be. I never tested him with it, but it's something to chew on if you want to try it. It's not a bad thing to try, okay? Reduced damage is a very powerful stat in the game, and there's really no hero out there that won't benefit at all from it. So it's not like you're going to tank your Bloodblade to trash by putting a reduced damage artifact on him. You can always just swap it out the next battle or two. But anyways, just something to chew on there. I still lean for attack. It boosts his sustain. It also boosts his damage over time. Comes to the stone, I'm going to recommend the exact same thing. Attack and attack percent. It's going to boost his attack even higher, which means his damage over time effects are going to be more potent. It's also going to make his heals for himself a little bit stronger. Again, you might be able to run attack and armor break or something like that, or attack and holy damage, I've heard. I didn't mess around with holy damage on him at all. Armor break I used on Walter, and it was fairly effective, but I feel like I still get more out of just flat attack when it comes to Bloodblade because it really helps his self-sustain. Alright, so that would be my recommendations for a geared up Bloodblade. Attack, attack, and on the artifact, attack, attack. Go all attack on him, it's going to be good. He'll dot heavier, which is great. He's also going to heal a little more, which is nice. Alright, so with that being said, where's Bloodblade good? Where is Bloodblade ungood? These are the questions. I would say Bloodblade's weakest point is PvP. He has no crowd control. He has no crowd control, which means he does get nuked down pretty quick when it comes to PvP, and he doesn't really have any option to crowd control enemies. Now, with Valentino coming out, that may change, because he gives every hero in the game at least a small amount of crowd control. So, I don't know, we'll see how that works out, I guess. It could be something. Could make him more viable in PvP again. I don't know. But straight up, just by himself, I would say not really his strongest point PvP. Alright? He does heal a little bit on his own. He does do decent damage. But no crowd control hurts him a lot. And that's kind of the meta in PvP right now. It's all about crowd control. Generally speaking, in every game, it's always all about crowd control. But whatever. Here, it's all about crowd control. He doesn't have it. So I would say PvP, weakest area for sure. But he shines everywhere else. He is really solid when it comes to things like the Tower, the Brave Trial even. Of course, it's kind of a mix between PvP and PvE. The Aspen Dungeon, he can be run as a main hero in the Aspen Dungeon. I haven't run him by himself in the Aspen. I know he struggles very, very hard against any kind of damage over time hero, Walters and Bloodblades, generally the two hardest nodes in the game. But you can run him as your main Aspen hero. I've heard people do it. I've heard them get pretty far with him into difficult and stuff. I don't know. I didn't run him that way. I ran him as a node breaker. Whatever. Anyways, he can be run there. Obviously, if you don't want to run him as your main, he does work as a node breaker. But the problem with him being a node breaker is he still is going to be struggling with those big nodes that hurt him as your main. Walters and Bloodblades. That's who you node break on. He's not really solid at dealing with them, so he does generally die when he breaks a node for you. Doesn't last a whole lot of time, especially up in difficult. He's alright there, late game. Early game, though, if you have a 10-star Bloodblade early on, he's going to be really solid for you in the Aspen. He's going to get you through 200 waves, pretty much guaranteed. If you got decent tech, that is. Anyways, there's the Aspen Dungeon. Obviously, his biggest shining point that everybody likes Bloodblade for is boss damage. Do I have a boss? Of course not. Never have a boss. You never have bosses. It's just not a thing. So we're going to have to test him out in the broken spaces, and that's what we're going to go do right meow. So let's jump in here, broken space. I do like testing, mainly, because I'm at the last wave, the 400 level monsters. I like testing this one the most. Has no damage over time, has no crowd control. This one's got damage over time, this one's got crowd control. All three of them hit AoE, which means they hit all your people at once. So without a healer on my team, it's best to go with someone that's not doing damage over time or crowd controlling, which means this guy here. So we're going to jump in. We're going to drop this battle. There's my Bloodblade. He's hot. He's hot. Get used to it. It's going to be amazing. So we're going to jump in here, drop some damage, see what he's doing. It's going to be a good day. Already dropped 150 grand in just the first basic attack. Not bad. Not bad. See what he gets to. He might die here. He might not. If Bruce heals him a lot, he'll definitely stay alive. Because his active skill gives him some self-sustain, which is very, very good. Like Walter, doesn't have it. Walter gets nuked down pretty quick in these. But Bloodblade has usually he lasts longer, generally speaking. So we'll see if he can make it all the way to the end. Ooh, that was a heavy hit right there. Very heavy. Alright, 9 rounds in. See if we can get here. Ooh, uh-oh, that's tough. He's going to go down now for sure. Yep, he did. He did. Berea, last one standing. Berea's kind of a boss. We'll go ahead and skip the rest of that. 52 million damage. Again, it's nothing crazy. Without a healer, you lose your heroes, which means you do less damage. It's just part of it. Shadow Abyss teams, not the best for self-sustain. They do a decent amount of damage, though. So anyways, we'll check this out. As you can see, Bloodblade, ooh, he didn't do very good at all this time. Dropped a 9 mil bomb Generally speaking, he lasts longer. That was pretty unlucky that Cruz died so fast. We're gonna run one more because it's stupid. The other day when I did the Walter one, he was getting like 10 and 5 million. Today, testing Bloodblade, Walter pulls the 19 mil. There you go. There you go. Wouldn't you have it that way? That's how it works. Both are solid for boss damage BT dubs. We're gonna run that one more time. We'll just blast through it though. Do I want to next it or do I want to watch it? We'll watch it. We'll watch it and see what happens in real time. See if we can keep him alive a little longer. That was a rough one. Generally, he lasts a little bit longer because he can heal. Apparently not this time. Also, I did swap the artifacts that were on Walter and Bloodblade. That could have something to do with it. I don't think it would. I think I just got unlucky with the heals there. So let's see what happens. See if Cruz can keep himself alive maybe this time. Because he's my only healer. If Cruz goes down early, it's bad news bears for my team. Ooh, man. It's not looking good for anybody right now. Looking bad. Looking real bad, actually. Don't kill him. Oh my god, this is going to be an ugly one for him, too. Ugh. Ugh. Only 52 mil. It's not going to be good for him. Nope. Ugh, he's looking... See, this. Why is it this way? Why is it? Okay? The other day I'm testing Walter out, and he's doing butthole garbage bad. Getting absolutely butt smashed. And then I change it over and I'm like, well, we'll run Bloodblade instead. And now Bloodblade's doing butthole bad, and Walter's doing amazing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Absolutely dumb. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do right here is we're going to run a little bit of a test. A test, let's do. We're going to take this reduced damage artifact off of Corpse Demon because we're already here. We're already doing it. And we're going to run it on him and see if that doesn't help him in this boss battle a little bit. Just to run a bit of a test on it. You see that boosted his health up to over 1 million? That's not bad. He did lose a lot of attack, so he won't heal as much on himself, and his damage over time won't be as high, but he's going to be staying alive. And I feel like that might boost his damage a little more than 4 million. So we're going to run this battle again. We're watching all the way out. This time, hopefully, Bloodblade will stay alive with that reduced damage artifact. We'll see what happens. See if it makes a big difference. That's kind of the idea, right? So let's jump in here and watch. He's still taking a decent amount of damage, but we'll see. If he makes it past round 7, he's doing all right. He's doing better. So let's see what happens. It's kind of boring when you've watched it twice already. I feel the boredom coming through the screen right now, like I've already seen him do this 2 times. I know, but I just kind of want to test it out and see. I never tested him with a reduced damage artifact. We'll see if it does help him stay alive a little bit longer. He is already alive for longer now. He's round 8. He's doing better than he was before. If we can get some Cruz heals on him, that's fantastic. Like I said, though, if I could just run the guy with an actual AoE healer, it would freakishly help him out. Oh my god, Cruz is dead. We're in trouble now. We are in trouble. Big trouble. Alright, so there it is. A little bit better, I guess. It felt a little better. He lasted longer. 10 million damage. So not really all that much better. He lost the attack percentage just to stay alive a little longer. Like I said, if I just had an AoE healer, you guys could see him all last to the end, and that would definitely help a lot. But Walter is just freaking chewing him up today, man. 18 million damage. Pretty solid. Generally speaking, most of the time, Bloodblade actually outdamages Walter. It's just, also, these little 400 guys are a little bit stronger. I have no healer. On Marauders, almost every time, my Bloodblade hits about 1 or 2 million higher than my Walter. Usually he outdamages him. Usually he does. I don't know what's going on right now. I don't understand. It's weird. It's crazy weird. But Walter's he's just on point today, just smashing buttholes, taking names. And Bloodblade's like, you can have it, man. You can have it. Take it. Take it away. Like I said, though, him and Walter usually do very close to the same damage, with Bloodblade generally leaning higher. Unfortunately, I have no Marauders to fight on. It's much better to test on Marauders because, generally speaking, they're bosses that are always around that you're generally hitting. Broken Spaces isn't around all the time, okay? And even when it is, not a lot of people are fighting the level 400 monsters. You know, it starts out at level 200, then level 300, and then level 400, and it just keeps repeating the 400s. He didn't do amazing today. He was dropping about 10 million average, but again, that's a 400 level dude. On Marauders, he usually does about 20 mil plus for me, which isn't bad at all. I like it. The reduced damage artifact definitely helps him stay alive a little bit longer, which can be beneficial. I would say either way you want to run him, probably work out. So there you go, guys. Just run over it one more time. Great at boss damage. Didn't really show it today. I don't know what the crap the curse is of showing boss damage on the hero I want to do well. But whatever. He is good at boss damage. Trust me, he is. It's his thing. Not so great at PvP. He can work there, but I don't think he's very solid at it. He can work in the Aspen dungeon as both a main Aspen hero and a node breaker. I don't know if he's very strong for node breaking, though, to be honest. Once you get up in the difficult waves, like difficult 50+, he's just going to die when you put him in to fight other Bloodblades and Walters. He doesn't really have the sustain to survive. As your main hero, it's going to be about the same story. He'll do great against everything that is not Bloodblade and Walter. He's going to do good against them because he does a lot of damage and he heals when they die. Bloodblades and Walters kind of eat his lunch. That damage over time destroys him. But he does work pretty well in the Aspen. He's not going to be like the in-game best god-tier Aspen hero, but he will work if you've got one. At 10-star, you can use him as a main hero, but he's not going to be able to self-sustain on his active skill until he's 10-starred. So a 9-star and below Bloodblade won't be doing quite as hot. Tower, kind of the same as PvP. He works pretty good there. Not like a god, but he's definitely not bad. So there you go, guys. That is the analysis of Bloodblade. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please make sure smash that thumbs up button to show your support. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well and tell your friends about it, because that definitely helps me out. And I will see you guys in the next one.